What it is and what it do, my fans, followers, supporters, and anyone who just likes to look good. If you don't know, you won't know. It's me, Lucas, Ferretro Original, back at it again for another episode of What the Hell Did I Get in the Mail Today? Now today, we got a marvelous little stack of parcels here, 7 deep, and I'm excited for it, so let's crack into it, baby. All right, let's get into the first one. Right on time, nice. We got a small little package here, very tightly packed tea. Now this one I actually have in the personal already. I just thought it was a juicy tea, so I figured I'd grab one for you guys. Check it out. That vintage Shamu SeaWorld tea. Now, don't get on my case about SeaWorld. Look, I don't support animal abuse, obviously, but Shamu is absolutely looking divine and lovely, jumping and breaching out of that water with that beautiful sunset in the back, and you can't argue with me on that. So that being said, I had to scoop up the tea. Actually, this is my double up, like I said, but this one will be available for you guys, so you're welcome. Let's hop into the next tea. All right, let's get into our next package here. We got a little white poly, pretty much your standard method of delivery for a t-shirt. And surprise, surprise, that's what we got. Let's check this one out though. Bang, that Defy Gravity. Now, my man's got the most recognizable forearms in the game. Spinning that basketball with absolute ease. I know you know who this athlete is. Name him. Name him. Let me flip and dip if you don't know. Might make it a little bit easier on you. Check that out. Bugs Bunny and Michael Jordan straight posted up, ready to beat the Monstars in a vicious game of basketball. Now, if you know, you know, and you better know. That's all I gotta say. All right, let's get into our next package here. What do we got? Another little white poly. What I say before, a white poly is pretty much your standard method of delivery for a t-shirt. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not upset about this. I bought it for a reason. Now, check this tee out. A legend carved in stone. A tale as old as time itself. Harley Davidson motorcycles, baby. Yes, sir. You got the sword and stone vibes for obvious reasons on the front. Super cool text and like ombre through the text. Love that. But we're not done, folks. It's not just the front print. Wait till I flip and dip on the back for you. And yes, sirree. That beautiful, bright, bodacious Harley Davidson logo that we all know and love so much. About as big as it can get on the back of this, and I think it just pairs very nicely with the front graphic. So that being said, I think it all comes together to make quite a beautiful t-shirt, if I do say so myself. A nice little addition to the inventory. On to the next one. All right, let's get into our next package here. And what do you know? Another white poly. Look, I know you guys know what these are used for now, so I'm not even going to dive into that. You guys know what's inside, so let's move on, huh? Ooh, but wait. There's more. Courtesy of my mans over at Backtrack. I will put his Instagram right here because, look, I love the dude's work ethic. He's got a great feed. All around just seems like a really genuine, good dude that, you know, you probably want to hang around a campfire, share some stories, maybe a few s'mores. And that being said, I thought it was only right that I grabbed the t-shirt off of him. I wanted to support the man, and, you know, the time was right. He posted something up that I liked, and we weren't far off in price. Worked out a little deal, and here it is on my lap. The rest is history. Check it out. Without further ado, we got the Ray Charles story movie tee, and who better to play Ray Charles than my man's Jamie Foxx with the pipes. Now, Jamie's taking a little bit of Ray Charles spotlight here. I know he's the main, he is supposed to be Ray Charles, but wait till we flip and dip onto the back, and then we get back to the man himself, Ray Charles, with some of his greatest hits here. Definitely a great t-shirt, a great movie promo tee too. Long sleeve, also a bonus. All in all, just great tee, great deal, great guy, great business. It's great. All right, moving on to the next package. What do we got? A little switch up, not a poly this time, but a priority mail envelope. This must be important. Let's crack into it. 2 t-shirts, Switching it up on you guys, we got a couple of band tees now, spicing up the selection. The tie-dye Grateful Dead roulette tee. This one's definitely cool. Not super vintage. I don't even think it's vintage. I'm pretty sure this is like mid-early 2000s, but I love the Grateful Dead stuff. Always does well for me. You flip and dip onto the back, and you got the 2 cards and what appears to be a couple of roses. I'm not a botanist, so don't quote me on that. I sell vintage clothes. That's what I do. And new stuff too, clearly. But moving on. Next tee in the package. This one is vintage. That vintage Van Halen. The whole squad just straight posted up, just having a laugh. You gotta love that. You flip and dip. I love the back of this one. That graphic with the font just straight through it. I think it's super cool. You know, I got these both for a great deal, as per usual. You know, I do my thing. And that being said, I had to snatch them up, and I think it's a great little addition to the inventory. On to the next one. All right, let's get into this next package here. This box, never letting you know my next move. A big boy, lots of little tees in here that I think you guys will enjoy. But before we get into the tees, let's get into this little hat. We got a nice little smushed vintage champion hat with the color changing spell out embroidered on the front on this nice faded dark green colorway. And then you got the champion logo and another spell out on the back. Now, it is smushed, but it's not the end of the world though, guys, because I have a giant head, if you couldn't tell, especially with the poofy hair, and inside that giant head is a giant brain. But luckily, it fills out the hat just great. So you don't really see all the creases in it when I put it on head. And that being said, definitely gonna have to keep that one and just rock it, because I haven't seen another champion hat like that, and those colors are absolutely beautiful. So let's get into the rest of this here. All right, let's get into a single tee first. Let's check this out. You got this vintage, or I don't know, not vintage, depends on who you ask, 2001 Bob Marley tee, just straight posted up, probably smoking a doobie, could be a cigarette, who knows. He probably pearled that shit. But he is sitting backwards on the chair. That being said, he's a cool cat for show, because only cool dudes do that. Everybody knows. Flip and dip onto the back. You got the same graphic in black and white, really small, with a little quote over top that you guys can pause and read on that. Just, you know, basically him saying, smoke more weed, it's good, blase blah, whatever. Bob, oh, you character. Moving on. Next individual tee here, we got that vintage, or not vintage, I don't know, depends on who you ask, 2002 WWA World Wrestling All-Stars tee. You got a lot of recognizable names, some that you might not know depending on how big of a wrestling fan you are, but super cool front graphic here, pops a lot. And then you flip and dip onto the back, and you got the big flames with all the names and locations. So very nice tee there. Absolutely crispy as a Frisbee. I'd say it's pretty much like new old stock, so I'm into it. Same thing with, I think, pretty much all of these tees, I think, are new old stock. They are not dry rotted, so that is a plus. I always check that. If you're buying old tees and they're brand new, definitely make sure they are not dry rotted, because you could barely tear on a tee like this and the whole thing will rip. You don't want to spend up a decent little chunk of change on a nice t-shirt you've been waiting for, and then you come to get it in the mail and find out that it's dry rot and it falls apart, you can't wear it. Just avoid headaches, ask that ahead of time, put it in your descriptions when you're selling stuff that's brand new and old, because I'm sure people will ask you that. So next tee, let's check it out. The vintage, this one is vintage, 1999 Lenny Kravitz. Woo-wee! My man straight looking great. Look at the fit. Look at the cocaine white fit. That's just savage. Absolutely savage. Flip and dip onto the back. You got the Neon 5 with the Tour 1999. And what's even better is I got two of them. Both the same size, I believe. Let's double check. XL, XL. Yep, same sizes on both. Definitely awesome tees though. Happy about those. And All of the tees in this package, honestly, are really good inventory, and I think they'll help me put together some more vintage bundles for you guys. I've been running a little low on inventory around here, so it's harder to put together bundles that people really want. But I think this package, as well with the other inventory that I purchased today, will definitely spice some things up. All right, let's get into what is technically the last tee in this box. I don't know, depends on the way you look at it, but that vintage Pokemon Live with a nice little motley crew of characters on here on the front. Gotta catch them all, you know the deal. Nothing on the back of this one, unfortunately. It is on a Screen Stars tag, which you love to see. And the reason I said it is our last tee, but kind of not our last tee, is because, check it out, I got 2 more of them. How about them apples? All the same size. They all fit about a schmedium, I'd say. So depending on your body type, or if you just like to wear clothes that are real tight, then hit me up, because that is a great t-shirt, and I love that I have 3 of them. So a great package right there. All right, let's get into the last package of the day. What do you know? Another little white poly, and inside another tee. Check this one out though. Oh my goodness. Oh yes, we got that vintage, not vintage, depends on who you ask, Chicken Little movie promo tee. He is side by side with 900 pounds of solid self-doubt. My man's is the runt of the litter, and he's just posted up. You know, he does not judge people. He has a very eclectic group of friends, and I like that about him. You flip and dip onto the back. You got the Chicken Little hit on the back of the neck region there, in this nice heather gray colorway. Awesome graphic on the front, and I think with as well as Disney movie t-shirts and promo tees in general are doing right now, this one will fly quickly. So if you are interested, I would suggest you hit me up sooner rather than later, because that's a juicy tee if I've ever seen one. And a great way to end it right there. So boom, follow me if you don't already, at Retro Original Co. on Instagram. I'll put the link for that in the description, making your lives a whole lot easier. Having giveaways coming up at 9K and 10K, and I'll probably have something mixed in the midst of that as well, but you gotta follow to find out. Now, if you liked anything you saw in this video, or you just like cool clothes in general, be sure to check out my website, retrooriginal.com, so you can get you and your entire extended family fresh for less. Now, if you're new here, be sure to slap that subscribe button. If you're old here, be sure to slap that subscribe button. And while you're down there, maybe fiddle around with that like button too. For Retro Original, that's everything I got in the mail today. I'm Lucas Hill, and you're not.